G'day. My name's Dion Ward. I'm a Kiwi expat living in Japan. Also a self-realization teacher, if that's your cup of tea. Feel free to look me up. I want to talk about reality and perception. What is reality? And what effect does perception have on that? Let's start with perception. So first of all, there's obvious limitations to perception, at least in everyday life. You're only able to perceive what your senses give you access to, generally speaking, as you're walking around day to day. Through your eyes you see, through your body you feel, you taste, you touch, you smell. So there's a first limitation to perception. We can only perceive a sliver of what is actually available through these obvious limitations. But are we capable of perceiving enough to know what the truth is? Yeah. To get a taste of the truth, to recognize the truth and recognize what is illusion, so to speak. It's a bit of a tough word though, to use the word illusion as, you know, in contrast to reality. I'm not sure it's really accurate. It's a little bit unfair, because everything that is traditionally talked of as illusion is still a manifestation of the one. It's an expression of the one energy, the one universe, the one existence that manifests all things and brings all things into being. But let's look at that's obvious physical limitations and sort of funnels through which we view reality, the fullness of reality, through a sliver of available perception. And then there's the human aspect of it, the belief, the stories, what and how much can you perceive? As an exercise, just an example for yourself, just sit, psychologically sit and observe. I don't mean psychologically sit and observe, I mean sit and observe the psychology that expresses itself, that comes up. So sit quietly, resolve yourself to be silent, and let whatever arises arise. And view this with a sort of question that was pre-asked, or asked silently at the time, is, am I creating this? Am I creating the things that are arising as I sit here, resolved to be completely passive? What's their relationship to me? Now, through perception, honesty, simplicity, the kind of open simplicity of a child, before the mind has time to jump in and rationalize or create complication out of it, just sit and be available for whatever arises. And ask yourself, are the stories and the messages there within, some of which will be pretty innocuous sort of stuff like what's for lunch, or I should change my socks, and other things will be commentaries about what the world is and what other people are and what you are and what things should be and what they shouldn't be. Imagine if you were free of those things, how that would change the way that you perceive the world and move through the world. So I'm going to speak of that just briefly. I've spoken of that so many times. And then finally, so this is the sort of personal mind, or the jibber jabber, the chitter chatter. And then you've got the mind that creates meaning and value and order from chaos. So you think about every feature of existence, what we call a line, what we call a circle, what we call green and blue and red. Every single definition exists on a continuum. There are no constants. Everything is, what's the word? Everything is arbitrary. There are arbitrary points on continuums that have been picked out, and it seems to me that's because of the limitations of our senses. What seems pertinent, or what's the word? Seems obvious and available as a defining trait. So this is red and this is purple and that's blue. This is soft and this is hard. And this is a little bit soft. And this is malleable. And this is crunchy and smooth. And all the different ways that we define the world are arbitrary points on a continuum. And the possible definitions and interpretations that we can have of what the world is are infinite. And if they are infinite, they're not really functional. We need, in order to operate as humans, we need understandable definitions, boundaries by which things can be placed into boxes and understood. I mean, this goes beyond just the immediate functional sort of stuff, like I'm walking, I'm using my legs. Now, I don't have a lot of time to go into this right now, but if this is something you want me to explore, feel free to pop a comment asking for it. Everything that we do and everything that we are is all a matter of definition. It's all a matter of these arbitrary points on continuums that are essentially, ultimately infinite, and saying this is a this and this is that, which is why you take something as simple as a tree. The trees are unbelievably beautiful, nature is beautiful, and water is unbelievable. But for a lot of people, walking through a park, if someone had never seen a tree before and they said, "What's that?" The person said, "Tree." Tree, water. Oh, it's the sky. And it's done matter of fact, because they're not living with those things directly as a living experience. They're living with the definition of it. They've got this abstraction, this concept in their mind of what a tree is, and when they see it, it's just mind. It's just, oh, tree. It's just another tree, just another one of those things. You see a 2-year-old wandering around, wide-eyed, dribbling, with a grin on his face, sort of spellbound, because everything's new, everything's alive, everything's fascinating, because they haven't learned all the definitions yet. But their perception of the world is a marvelous, open, unknowable, mysterious, beautiful, alive thing. Whereas as you get older, the perception of the world, the way that we view it, the way that we view ourselves and other people, is all through the definitions that we've built, all the values and meanings that we've put around everything. Which we then experience the world through. So we're looking at the world through filters. Through limited, defined boundaries by which things exist in boxes: kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Everything's got its own box. Everything's like mathematical. I probably shouldn't use mathematical in a sort of derogatory way like that. I know there's a lot of beauty in mathematics, or it seems there is. But lifeless anyway, just ideas. The idea of a thing built on definitions, boundaries and assigned values and meanings is not the thing itself. The thing, if I ask you what's a tree, the image that you get in your mind and the definition that you have for a tree is not a tree. It's the idea of a tree. It's a representation of what a tree is, but it's not a tree. And it doesn't touch on what a tree really is. The ideas of it, the descriptions of it, are not the living beauty, the extraordinary, unique wonder of a tree. And it's the same for everything that we work with and everything that we live in. It's all definitions and ideas and meanings applied to something which is unknowable. Unknowable in the true sense. And what is it? What is this? We start off with the idea of, you boil everything down. Oh, what's a tree? Oh, it's a collection of carbon and water, and which formed as cells. You break it down. So wood. What is wood? It's carbon and water and various minerals, whatever it is. I'm not sure what wood is. Okay, so what's carbon? Oh, it's a collection of elements of. It's a collection of molecules formed in a certain way. Okay, so what is... Oh wait, carbon's an element, isn't it? It's a collection of electrons, protons and neutrons. Okay, what's an electron? Oh, it's and then you get into the world of quantum science, and eventually it always ends up, oh, it's energy. Energy just means the unknowable for the time being. What is energy? So we have an image of what energy is, but there's always going to be a point where the definition fails. we're just saying, I don't know. Oh, we'll call it energy. You know, it's like the thing that makes everything go ee. Or if there's no energy, it just goes. Oh. It's all based on definitions. So in terms of perception versus reality, you've got your base perception, which is the story of the world and what things are and how they work. And then you've got the story of yourself and what you are and what other people are and what the world is and how it revolves around you and what the meaning of it is and what your meaning is. It's still just more definitions. It's all definitions and values and meanings based on assumptions. There's all these assumptions that we have about what the world is and what we are that haven't even been, none of us, practically none of us, ever explore. What am I really? Do I know this? Or you're the body? Oh, okay. How do I know I'm the body? Well, it seems obvious, doesn't it? Yep. The mind. Yeah, I'm the mind. I'm that voice. That voice. Ja, 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 ja. Yeah, that's me. Oh, okay. Do you know that? What? How about you? How about, rather than take everyone's word, getting a little bit annoyed now. How about rather than take everyone's word for what reality is and how things work, you've got perception, you've got the ability, you have consciousness, perception, attention. You can apply your attention, you can apply consciousness to everything that you experience and start to ascertain firsthand what everything actually is. So why not do that? It's not impossible. It is most definitely not impossible. If you apply yourself, if you take a chance, there's no risk. You're not going to die by trying to work out, by sitting and looking at what really is. Not what you think it is, not what it must be this or it must be that. What can you actually see? This will get you personally, directly to the bottom of reality, to an understanding. I mean, in my case, I don't know if there's an eternal, like, deepest knowing of what everything is. I don't know what any of this stuff is. I don't know what it is, but I know what it's not. I don't know what I am, but I certainly know what I'm not. It's not rocket science. It just requires honesty, probably a little bit of fearlessness, probably initially at least desperation as well. But it's doable. It's doable for you as much as it is for anybody. Put aside the idea, if this is an idea that you're harboring of realization, self-realization, enlightenment, liberation, because there's definitions and built-in meanings and values assigned to them as well, and it'll lead you astray. You'll be left expecting something that doesn't happen. So stick yourself in a position where you just want to know the truth about what all this is. Just that. Just give me the truth and I'll settle with that. I think that's all. Any questions, comments, feel free to pop them in the comment box below or at my website in the description below. Have a fantastic day. Hope this was of some use. Catch you later. See ya.